Well, never did we ever think we'd be following Serena Williams in any conversation on a stage. So welcome, thank you so much for being here. I am Melissa Tatoris, I head up retail here at Zeta Global, and I am with my esteemed colleagues.
My name is Lorenz. I'm the head of retail go-to-market at Snowflake.
Hi everybody, I'm Allison. I'm with Tractor Supply Company and also part of the NRF Tech Council and CNBC Tech Council. So thanks for joining today.
Yep, and thank you for being here. So we're going to jump right in. So let's talk about all amplified AI with personalization. So if you think about it, actionable personalization is the difference between knowing something about somebody and doing something about knowing something to actually create loyalty, right? And it's all based on the foundation. So setting the strategic vision here, Leslie, I'm gonna go to you first. Talk to me and us about the trends that you see at Snowflake that's driving AI personalization.
You know, I think I'm gonna like bend down because I don't think you can hear me. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Okay. I think a lot of what I see just from a broader market perspective is an expansion of channels, and thus an expansion of a little bit of the unknown as to how to reach our customers. And a lot of that kind of boils itself down to, do you actually capture data in the right way and enough data to be able to then translate that into an actionable program? I have a lot of organizations that are talking about how to activate AI, how to use the tools and the partners that we have to get there. And honestly, a lot of the trend and the conversation kind of boils back down to starting, kind of going back to the basics. Building the foundation, making sure you have the appropriate data, making sure that you have the appropriate tool sets and the partnerships to be able to then activate it out and become a little bit more modern in the stack.
So I love that, starting with the data as the foundation, getting that clean in order to use it.
Right.
So I'm gonna pivot over to you, Glenn. At Tractor Supply, what sparked the need and the want to be able to do AI-driven personalization?
So at Tractor Supply, we serve life out here. We support our customers in the local communities that we live and serve. And you know, our customers are our neighbors. We are taking care of our neighbors in the local communities we live and serve. And you know, Neighbors Club is an example where we provide loyalty and kind of value to our customers, and having core platforms in place that give us the ability to scale to over 2,500 Tractor Supply and PetSense by Tractor Supply stores, being able to scale over 40 million Neighbors Club members. These core platforms are key to being able to do AI and personalization at scale. And we've taken an approach where every team member across the entire organization, with stores, distribution centers, our store support center, are enabled by AI, and being able to save time, free up time to better serve customers, to drive more personalized automations and insights. And we're building AI into, we're probably about 50% build, 50% buy, but we're building kind of AI into all of our core platforms and working with our partners like Snowflake and Zeta to leverage AI as part of our core platforms. And then you get into kind of customer-facing capabilities and kind of the future of retail and where things are headed next, and making sure we've got the platforms in place to support things like agentic commerce.
Super, there's a whole lot in there that I still want to unpack, but we got to keep this moving. I just want to circle that back to you, Glenn. When you were constructing this entire AI organization within Tractor Supply, did you get met with any complexities or any pushback? And if you did, how did you overcome that?
So I think, in the retail industry, a lot of what you hear, a lot of pilots. A lot of people doing pilots in various organizations. We're well positioned in that we're fully enabled enterprise-wide. We have fully deployed AI to every team member, And so by having kind of the core platforms like Zeta with Snowflake, you know, the other partners that we work with, we've been able to leverage insights from our data to give every team member the ability to do automations, you know, personalized insights, you know, time savings across the board, you know, maybe 2 to 10 or more hours of time savings per week, you know, leveraging AI. But, you know, I think one of the challenges you kind of hear about is there's just a lot of people still doing pilots. It's hard to scale.
Right.
And so by taking an approach by empowering every team member with AI, you know, we've been really able to scale across every department: merchandising, finance, supply chain, marketing. Every department is enabled through AI. But with that also comes change management. And, you know, some people have not worked with an AI, and like, how do you prompt, and like, what is the best way to do a prompt and kind of get the right output? And then also just the importance of data, the quality of the data, because the output that you get from AI could be problematic if you don't have good quality data. So that's where you get into things like responsible AI, making sure you're from an information security standpoint, governance. As you're looking at bringing in new AI capabilities across the organization, having things like an AI governance committee that meets regularly to kind of review new AI capabilities. Those are the things that can actually help you move faster and being able to adopt AI across the organization. The other thing I would say is having AI champions in every department. We started out with roughly 20 AI champions across each department. That grew to over 200 AI champions in a short period of time, and that has helped us enable to really scale out AI across the entire company. Is just everyone's been a supporter and helping kind of move things forward.
That's incredible. 200 people are part of the whole AI, call it scrum, that you have.
Yeah, and they regularly collaborate. I mean, we've got like a Microsoft Teams chat where they're sharing in real time. It's like new announcements are coming out with OpenAI, or with, you know, the announcements today with Zeta, with Snowflake. In real time, they're collaborating, also kind of working with our AI governance and kind of reviewing of these new capabilities so we can ultimately roll them out to like our customers, our team members, you know, across the organization.
Great, real quick.
Which is like counterintuitive. A lot of people think AI governance, like that's going to slow us down. It's actually the reverse. It will actually help you speed up adoption across AI across the company.
Is that headed by the IT side of the organization or your data security side?
So we have, in terms of the AI Governance Council, it's very cross-functional. It's got representatives from IT, it's got representatives from information security, legal, you know, business areas, all working together and kind of reviewing of these AI capabilities, and then ultimately, you know, reviewing, approving, and then getting them into production.
I love it. Les, do you have anything to add into?
I mean, I feel like I'm just going to take Glenn and like put him on my side and carry him with me as like the biggest Snowflake champion. No, I think the only other thing that I'd add is having the ability to be nimble in terms of how you apply the AI, and making sure that that's, you know, you heard it this morning, meeting people where they're at versus trying to get people to come to the AI is a really key component for, especially for retailers who are really just trying to work with whatever's in front of their face. So I think that there's a lot of work that's being done right now to figure out how to actually integrate that into where they are at versus trying to get people to come to the AI.
I love that. Let's pivot a little bit to partnership. I feel like we have the trifecta of a partnership here between Zeta, Snowflake, and Tractor Supply. Truly honored for this. Leslie, talk to us about how you view the partnership with Zeta as we go to market with retailers like Tractor Supply, and what the time to value looks like.
Melissa and I have been really close friends for a couple years now, so I'm a little bit selfish in getting to sit in this seat. But honestly, I don't think we would be able to do what we do without the other. I think having Snowflake as a data platform and allowing you to kind of pull from those capabilities and then ultimately serve a Tractor Supply, a customer base. That ecosystem is really powerful, and it's not just the three of us. It's it's the ecosystem that's way broader than that, and the data that's way broader than that that you can actually pull from to ultimately allow for Glenn to light up the entire ecosystem. So I think if we weren't all sitting together, the power of this kind of trifecta, it wouldn't nearly be half as powerful as it is.
So we're better together, right?
Better together, 100%.
1 + 1 is 4. That's our whole saying at Zeta as we work together and collaborate together. Glenn, before we get into the final question, you met with CNBC a couple weeks ago. Can you share what you presented with CNBC?
Sure. So a couple things. Next week, CNBC will be hosting one of their first AI summits in Nashville. So there's a lot of exciting kind of work going on kind of in the community. So we invite you to kind of come to Nashville next week for that.
Is that an open invitation to everybody here?
And then in the Tech Council, getting back to your other question, so like we did a demo with John Fort a few weeks ago showing, with OpenAI, custom GPTs, some of the integrations that we have, like with Terraform, with Snowflake, with Azure. We're seeing all this growth with kind of custom GPTs and automations, where workflows that previously would take hundreds of hours to complete, we're able to do in kind of real time, using voice or through chat. So it's exciting to see how quickly things are accelerating in this space, and then the importance of the partnerships. So having those core platforms in place, having those strategic partnerships with OpenAI, with Snowflake, with Zeta, we have the platform in place, and now we're able to move very quickly. And so as these new connectors are coming available, being able to produce insights, leveraging our data across core platforms and using some of the most advanced AI models in the world positions us well to be able to move very quickly, in the market, which retail is detail. You got to be able to move quickly.
I say that all the time at Zeta. Retail is detail. Okay, so final question between both of you. So I will start with you, Leslie. Where do you see AI and AI personalization going in the next 3 to 5 years?
I mean, I was asked that question earlier today, and we were both joking a little bit about how it's platform data and AI and all married together. I think, again, we talk a lot about AI, our employees, our AI meeting employees where they're at. I think that's also the same nod to customer, right? Our channels are expanding, our customer base their expectations are higher than ever. And I'm not talking about my customer base, I'm talking about, mine too, but the retailer's customer base. And understanding how to reach them and understanding how to talk to them is literally the only math. If you don't do that right, you are doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I see like AI personalization really supporting in the next 3 years. I think it's just going to get, the agentic nod is just going to explode.
Great.
But we're really trying to figure out, not the royal we, I think Glenn has a jump on everyone, but we're really trying to figure out how to, where to put some of those agents, where to put the AI, where it's going to be most effective, and then ultimately how to measure the revenue and the ROI from that in an intelligent way. So a lot of it comes down to...
It's a big ask.
It's a big ask, yeah. It's a big ask. And it's complex. We try to make it as simple as possible, but it's really complex. So
here's the reality. So
laying it down.
It took Netflix 10 years to get to 100 million users. OpenAI did that in 2 months.
Yeah.
So things are moving very fast. If you're asking kind of what does the future look like, the reality is you've got to have the core platforms in place. You've got to have your AI champions. You've got to get team members familiar with how to work with AI and all the change management. You've got to have your responsible AI, information security, data governance. You've got to have your AI council meeting regularly because things are moving very fast, but you've got to make sure that those controls are also in place. And then as you take like most of, like you hear a lot of pilots going on. We're fully deployed enterprise-wide with AI. I think we're well positioned kind of for the future ahead. A lot of the focus right now has been more around team member productivity, time savings, automations and driving insights, and then AI built into our core platforms. As you look ahead, I think it's going to be very important for the partners working together. And so it's really great to see OpenAI, Zeta, Snowflake, our partners working together, and us having a roadmap together and how these connectors and how these all comes together in the future. And if you even look further out, it's going to be very transformative for retail as customers are using ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini. They're using this to plan out their trips, their projects. They're building out detailed kind of parts lists for what they need for their project. Agentic commerce is coming. So it's very important that MCP, like your platforms are getting ready for kind of agentic AI, and just like Fareed was kind of talking about earlier today, and being able to do some of the agentic work that's really transformational and driving kind of value for the business.
Yep, and at the center of it all is the consumer, right? So I'm gonna wrap this up. Having the consumer, their mindset at the center of everything you do, and having the AI based on the data, bringing all of that together to then propel your brand like Tractor Supply does, and bringing it all together and creating that unmatched customer experience. So love it. I want to thank Glenn too. He outfitted us in our little outfits here with Tractor Supply and Snowflake and Zeta. Thank you all for attending and for listening.